Well, thanks for your interest. This presentation provides an update on our current activities and an overview of the company. Magmatic Resources is a gold copper exploration company focused on discovery in the East Lachlan. The East Lachlan province being a world-class gold copper province, famous for the Cadia Valley district, which is host to Australia's largest producing gold mine at Cadia East last year, with production over 900,000 ounces and at an all-in cost of about $120 an ounce. And Cadia Valley represents the world's largest alkalic gold porphyry complex. Other major mining operations, I'll note Northparkes, Cowal and Tommily gold operations. We've also seen late last year some important discoveries made, namely the Boda porphyry discovery from Alkane in the northern Molon belt, which is important for Magmatic's story. We've got a strategy and a large ground holding and target portfolio in that area around Boda, and so I'll talk a lot about what we're doing in that area and what our strategy is there. But the birth of the company back in 2017 through an IPO happened after an acquisition of targets and ground in the Lachlan from Goldfields. And through that transaction back in 2014, Goldfields still retain a 11% interest in the company. So I'll step through our activities in the northern Molon belt. We feel there's plenty of value to be added and further Boda-like porphyry discoveries to be made in that area. We've been very active drilling at Lady Ilsa gold copper porphyry target and developing other targets in that area as well. We are currently drilling at Lady Ilsa, and later in the month we'll be drilling at our Boda North target. Corporately, we are well supported and well funded with a balance of skills on the board, and Stephen Oxenberg, Exploration Manager, based out of Orange. A bit on the background of the region. As I say, Cadia Valley, Northparkes, globally significant mining operations. These are multi-mine districts. Cadia Valley is the world's largest of its type alkalic gold porphyry complex, and within the Molon belt, and then also Northparkes sitting on the western Junine-Arrowmine belt. You can see there in orange Magmatic's portfolio, Wellington North project, essentially surrounding Alkane's Boda discovery. And we've got Mile in the Junine-Arrowmine, a Northparkes lookalike, and we've got holdings in the Parkes fault zone south of the Tommily gold operations. We've also seen majors and mid-caps building exploration portfolios in the district, which is also reflecting the industry's perception of unfinished business in the area, and there's still a lot of value to be had from exploration in this region. We've seen some good news stories out of Cowal and Evolution boosting the gold resources there, up over 11 million ounces now, and showing tier 1 status in itself. So if I start stepping through our activities currently in the Molon belt, and if we zoom into the Molon belt, we feel there's some great reasons why we're seeing exploration success there. We see a lot of smoke and also discoveries now. And if you take the Molon belt as a single entity, you clearly need to be on those Molon belt rocks to have a chance of Cadia type Lachlan porphyry mineralisation, but within that, in more detail, we think you need to be in key positions within it as well. And magnetics indicates it fairly well. We feel like we've got very similar setting and rock types along strike from Cadia to Cadia Valley itself. Zooming in on that area, again, a magnetic image, high resolution data showing in black there, Magmatic's tenure position. It's extensive. It's the largest position within that northern extents of the Molon belt, essentially surrounding the Boda porphyry discovery there. We feel we've got the northern and southern strike extents of that discrete Boda porphyry belt, and we've been working busily in that Boda North area to assess targets and define drill targets in that area, which we have achieved, and we'll be drilling later next month there. We currently have the rig operating at Lady Ilsa, which is following up from our maiden diamond hole, which we announced earlier this month. We've got high quality target portfolio there, which is more the point than just the number of targets. We've got targets which are very advanced, testament to good work of previous explorers. We feel there's unfinished business in terms of ranking and testing some of those targets for Boda style porphyry mineralisation in particular. Rose Hill, for example, there 70 odd metres at 0.4, 0.3 copper gold from surface. That is, already at around about Cadia East reserve grades. So we've got very high quality targets here, which we're going to rapidly advance. The company's exploration strategy in the northern Molong can be described in terms of how we've executed things at Lady Ilsa. Lady Ilsa was a priority target and is a priority target based on this low-level gold and porphyry pathfinder geochemistry, which was detected in shallow drilling. We feel there's an extensive zone of sulfides there based on some geophysics that we've done. And we know that the Boda signature, which is published, is quite unique in terms of identifying pyrite zones which are fertile and non-fertile. And so it's a very effective ranking and strategy and an efficient way of allocating resources to where we need to be drilling. Boda discovery was a real proof of concept for the industry to really indicate which targets should be priority targets for drilling. So we're pushing that knowledge forward. We're bringing appropriate exploration techniques. MIMDAS geophysics enables us to map out the variations in chargeability, conductivity and resistivity of the ground, and that helps us to map out where we are within the systems. We have drilled one diamond hole underneath where we had RC coverage, and we feel the combination of data sets and the results of that hole is suggesting on the northern extent of the system. And now we are rapidly zooming in on where we feel the core of the system is. So here we have the cross section looking north of the diamond hole. We see the zone alteration and mineralised zone at the broad western margin of an earlier intrusive body. Same relationship that you see between rock types at Boda. And the long section there, so looking towards the west, shows the pierce point of the diamond hole in relation to the main chargeability trends. So we see a relationship with the gold mineralisation in the diamond hole and sulfides. And so the main sulfide zone there, which is north-south and vertical geometry, is heading towards the south towards this zone of elevated chargeability. So we feel like that's a pretty sensible vector towards where we're going to see more sulfides and hence more mineralisation. And that diamond hole hit is very similar to the first diamond hole hit at Boda a few years ago. And so we've got it by the tail essentially, and now we're going for the kill. We see in the detailed geochemistry, for those that are interested, we see a lot of encouraging signs. The gold, copper, moly zones are associated with the porphyry pathfinders that we talk about. We see tungsten, tellurium, antimony, arsenic, and the broad zone of sulfur is telling you where the zone of interest is there. Downhole profiles here, you can see everything's shining quite clearly on this western margin or the downhole contact from that earlier intrusive body. So that's given us more confidence in that chargeability data set, which is mapping out the distribution of sulfides, we feel. So we're rapidly advancing other targets in the district in and around the Boda discovery story as Alkane continues to drill and define that discovery. At Boda North here, which is 4 to 5 k's north along strike from Boda, we've utilised IP geophysics to map out chargeability anomalies, and chargeability was an important data set and feature of the Boda discovery. So it's a very efficient way to start to zoom in on more Bodas. So here you can see an oblique view north of Boda and Kaiser, showing our chargeability trends and features. This one to the north there is a very strong zone of chargeability coincident with conductivity, and then flanked by resistivity highs, which is about as good as it gets as far as the classic porphyry signature in electrical geophysics. And we're encouraged by the association of those anomalies and the magnetic signatures there. So we'll pop some RC drill holes in there looking for that fertile indicators in the pyrite, and that'll guide further drilling. So as a wrap up, Magmatic Resources is a dynamic gold copper exploration company focused on discovery in the East Lachlan. We've got a advanced portfolio. In particularly we're focused on the northern Molon belt in and around the Boda discovery, Alkane's Boda discovery, where we feel we've got high priority targets showing very similar signs at the equivalent stage of discovery. Thanks very much, and please feel free to organise meetings. I look forward to talking to you one-on-one, and thanks for your interest.